Sinclair, if you haven't met me, I'm the chair of faculty at the College of Aviation, and I work closely with Sharon. I think all of you have met Sharon. She apologises she can't be here this week because she's travelling on Wednesday with students on a study abroad trip. So we weren't going to risk her getting stuck here on Tuesday and the students going off without a chaperone on Wednesday, so that's why she's not down here. But I apologise. I know you wanted information yesterday and it's been slow coming out, but we wanted to get it right. Sharon and I were sequestered in a conference room for 3 days last week while we looked at every one of you. So I've got plans which I'll share with you at the one-on-one meetings. It's not a final plan, it's what we're offering to you, what we think we can do, and there's maybe room in some of them for some negotiation if you want to do that. I think most of you will be okay with what we've got. One or two of you are probably going to have some questions for us, but we've done everything that we can with what we've been left available to try and get you finished. The accreditation rules say anybody that's within 12 months of graduation on the day we close, we have to teach out. And there's no obligation for anyone else, but we're not working that way, which is why it took us so long to put everything together. We wanted to try and get all of you sorted out some kind of option that would do you good. It's a horrible situation, I know, and I know how you feel. I didn't feel any better. And just so you know, I knew about this the day before it was announced to you guys. In fact, Sharon and I were down here the week before and met with all of you, mapped out your stuff, and we didn't even know that this was happening. No, I'm not going to say the university, except I just said it. But, so that's what we're going to do in the next 2 days. Meet with you. The 30-minute time slots, we're going to have to do that to try and squeeze you all in. But if they run over, they run over, right? Because we want to answer all of your questions and give you the answers we have. And we haven't got definitive answers for everything, but we've got where we're at so far with those things. So, want to go next? Yeah, this is Tom Grossman, Executive Director of Flight Operations.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Fancy title, Executive Director, but the reality is I became an Executive Director only a few months ago. Before that, Chief Instructor with Western Michigan University for about 20 years. So I know a lot about flight and how Western does flight. And what I saw from the one-on-one meetings from a couple weeks ago, there was a lot of questions about flying. And I'm here to try to help answer those questions. I took a lot of the common questions and initiated the document that you were provided on Friday, that frequently asked questions. Because I thought if we came down here Monday morning and started talking to you about the technicalities of closure time, how does it reduce ATP, training elsewhere, those types of issues, there'd probably be more frustration and questions than if we didn't have those FAQs. So my goal today is to try to inform you about what options we have with respect to the flying.
And I'm Tammy Morgan. I'm the Director of Student Engagement, and I met with, I think, just about every one of you a couple weeks ago. And I told you I'd be back with some more of the answers that you have towards housing, towards relocation if you're going back to Michigan. So we are trying to do right and trying to just answer your questions, and that's why we wanted to come back down sooner rather than later. And I will be in the meetings too today. And really, Sarah was great in capturing when we met, capturing those notes, and that's what we sent back to the team, just like I said that we would, so that we could best answer those questions. And I think we have answers to most of them. Still working out some of the other details, but to most of the questions that were posed, we have the answers.
Opening it up to general questions right now. So if anybody has any general questions, then shoot. Don't shoot. testing out. And is there not any?
I have one.
Yeah.
How open are you all to working with schools in the area at Ward, Florida, that we can transfer, is there a possible way to transfer our restricted ETP to those schools?
Very, very good question. And, looking at probably from a flight side, the three biggest questions that I saw was, is August 31 a deadline? And we have to operate on the premise that yes, it is. Matter of fact, we talked in our most recent day on Friday was that we can train up till August 31, okay? Because there were some questions, we have to be out of the vacate the building, so we have to move that date up a little bit further so we can get furniture and no, we will train up all the way till August 31. Come September 1, we'll figure out what do we do with facilities, buildings, and things like that. That said, I think as pilots, we are eternal optimists. And we say, yeah, I can get there so fast. I will be there on time. And how often do we see delays? So I think personally, as a goal, what you probably want to do is try to figure, let's go and target August 15. That gives 2 weeks of slush, I think. So if you're trying to figure out, forecast out, when will I be done with this course, when is the FAA check ride, and things like that, I do think that you have to build in a little bit of buffer. So that was one question. The other question was, what about the reduced ATP? And the reduced ATP is highly regulated, okay? So on the reduced ATP, basically in conceptual, the FAA requirements is you have to graduate from a university that's approved by the FAA for the reduced ATP. You have to get that diploma, that degree that's approved. You have to have 60 credit hours of approved FAA coursework. And then you have to do the instrument and commercial at the institution that has that. And so really, if you're graduating from Western Michigan University, you have to have all three of those criteria. And Western Michigan University's letter of authorization, that's a term that the FAA uses for the approval process, we do have the ability to accept other transfer work from an institution that also has a letter of authorization. So let's say that you're coming from Southern Illinois or from Embry-Riddle or from Middle Tennessee and transferring into Western Michigan University, and that institution had restricted ATP authorization. We have the ability to look at that. And when we say look at that, we have to really see what degree program were you in, what coursework were you with. We have to get copies from of the LOAs from the school that you transferred from, etc. So what you're asking is, what about other schools within the local area? And again, the same thing would be, you'd have to be a declared student in their major for this to count, and you have to have approved coursework. Now, whether or not that coursework would transfer really might come into an area of Gill and Sharon. So, because for example, long-standing, we have always said that in order to get an aviation flight science degree from Western Michigan University, the commercial must be taken at WMU. So we have provisions that will allow us someone to transfer in a private pilot training. Not necessarily transfer in, but skip our private pilot training course, or skip our instrument reading course. Well, we've always said, with respect to the aviation flight science, the commercial must be taken. And so that would be something that Gil and I have to investigate a little bit further. But if you're looking at, let's say, other coursework, let's say you did attend Liberty Online, because I know that Liberty has a flight training affiliate down here in Fort Myers. If you were to attend Liberty Online and took online courses, and those academic coursework was approved by their LOA, we'd have to look at the academic transfer through Gill and Sharon, and then I'm the representative for the reduced ATP with Western Michigan University. We'll have to work to make sure that all the paperwork is covered that way. Okay. The third area was, what about having a partnership with a local flight school? And we looked at that thoroughly, and it's very problematic. First of all, our curriculum, if you look closely at Western Michigan University curriculum, it's designed like a few other curriculums. Private pilot certificate, 55 hours. Actually, no, that's the instrument, 62 hours for a private pilot. 141 allows you to get the private pilot in as little as 35 hours. Why do we have so much time in our private pilot curriculum? Instrument, 55 hours. The reason all of that is designed in there is because from the beginning, we are teaching the professional, the commercial airline pilot type thing. So there's a lot of stuff that we build into our private that a lot of schools will put into their commercial. Where am I going with this? 141 says, Part 141 regulations say, for the commercial certificate, you need 120 hours of flying time. Our curriculum says 63. So if you're up through private instrument and you're looking at, how about if I do my commercial at the flight training affiliate with Liberty University, our course is 63 hours. Liberty's course, or the one down in Paragon Flight Academy, is 120 hours. So we have, you know, when this was announced a couple weeks ago, we did go ahead and look at what type of institutions of higher education are on the west side of Florida. What can anything be worked out? In the approval process, the target articulation, we're talking about many months to even potentially years to do. So we felt at least at this time that, you know, having a partnership where you can do pilot training down here for Western Michigan University's degree was not a feasible option. So those are the three key areas that I think were common for many of the one-on-one meetings.
Tom, one other thing that came up quite a bit was the flight spots in Michigan.
Oh, yes.
You want to just sort of talk about what that looks like if they go?
We finish with.
Yeah, just one more question. The point of contact, as far as schools that do have the LOA or maybe they don't, well, they do. Who can they contact if they want to talk to Western as far as transferring credits and such?
What you need to really be doing is talking to the two administrators of the LOAs. At Western Michigan University, I'm the point of contact for the reduced ATP.
Okay.
So actually, when we look at that, I am the one that does the check off that yes, all pilot training has been conducted appropriately in accordance with our LOA, and Sharon looks at the academic coursework. So if you're looking somehow at, let's say you've got an advanced systems class and you're trying to do that somewhere else, that really needs to be a question for Sharon. With respect to LOA compliance, what we would need to do is actually get a copy of the LOA of the school that you're going to be working with. Make sure that that type of coordination happens before you invest your time, okay? I'm talking about actually attending courses. Let's get this approved and vetted out beforehand.
Add to that. So I mean, like, I think Polk State College up here, and another one else in Broward.
Lakeland.
Any of those,
You talking academics?
well, their flight program, then if it's something that's correlated or.
Well, Polk State's very small, and I've been searching Broward and some of the other, you know, collegiate 141 schools. And Polk State is very small, but they do have a fleet associated with one of their, they contracted out to one of the schools around there. And I did talk to one of their people, and they said that they were willing to take the restricted ATP. And I asked, well, what if I'm not finished with my instrument yet? They said they were willing to take it as long, and also their commercial. So they seemed fine with it. And I asked him to ask the dean or the chief pilot, and they asked and called me later that day. They were all about it. They were good. So that's why I'm asking. I really want to, like you said, vetting it. I really want to make sure this ironed out before I invest my time over there.
And one thing I just heard from you is that they said they were willing to take that.
Yes.
Make sure that whoever is going to give you the certificate, and who is going to give you the certificate is where did you earn the degree. So if you're earning the degree through Polk State College, they're the ones that are going to be able to do the final answers. If you're going to have the degree through Western Michigan University, we're the ones that have to do the final answers. And so it might be that their LOA is set up a little bit different than ours. If you are interested, matter of fact, I'll make sure that we get a copy of the LOA emailed out to all of you. It's just a PDF document that's 10 pages long or